Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and today is the video that I'm sure a few of you at least have been waiting for, and it is my review for the Marvel's Avengers video game. Now, the game has been out for a week for me now, as I'm recording this video on the 7th, and I got it on September 1st, and I've just been pretty much non-stop playing it, playing a few games in between, and so far overall I have really enjoyed it. So in this video I'm going to be giving my review on everything pretty much in the game and giving my overall thoughts at the end, and just talking about the game and what I liked, what I disliked, what I think can be improved, and what I think is going to happen with the future of this game. So the first thing I want to talk about is of course the campaign, the Reassemble campaign, and this overall is a really good Avengers story. The story itself, it's got a lot of heart and it's got a lot of heartfelt moments throughout, mostly through Kamala and her trying to reassemble the Avengers, as you see it, as you see her having a strong relationship with her father and especially Bruce Banner, as obviously Bruce was recruited first out of all the Avengers. And I know a lot of people were concerned about how Kamala was going to be handled in the story, as most people thought she was going to be a bit of an annoying side character. But from what I've seen so far, people are pleasantly surprised by her character in this game, and are overall just happy of how the story turned out in the end. I won't go too much into spoilers, as I imagine some of you haven't quite finished the campaign or waiting to get the game still, but I will say the ending is absolutely fantastic and the final boss battle is a lot of fun to play. The only real criticism I have against the campaign is that it's just not long enough. I think it was in 12 to 13 hours, maybe a bit less in total, and I was quite disappointed with how short it was, because I felt it could have been expanded and some parts did feel a little bit rushed. But overall the campaign was good, I just wish it was a little bit longer. But obviously the campaign does continue in the Avengers Initiative, which is basically what the post-launch stuff is called, and there is a few story elements in there, which I'll go into in a little bit. Now obviously at launch we get 6 heroes to play as, including Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, and of course Miss Marvel. And we already have confirmed that Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, Spider-Man and Black Panther will be coming to the game post-launch at some point in the future. Now overall the gameplay of the heroes are really good. There are a few things that I don't like about some of them. I felt like Hulk just didn't feel enough of a tank, and he feel like he takes too much damage, which is a similar criticism that I had when I played as him in the beta, but that can obviously be changed in the future by the developers if they feel like that criticism is an overwhelming amount, and they can change it obviously to suit the needs of the players. And of course the main villains in the game are MODOK and AIM. They were good villains. It was good to see some villains that weren't already seen in major media in the modern day, like the MCU and stuff like that. So it's good to see an original comic villain in the game that people haven't really seen in modern day yet. But I also wish there was some more villains to go up against in the campaign itself. There is a little bit of a spoiler here, but at the end we do see a Kree sentry, which eventually MODOK does take over, and in one of the Thor heroic missions, after you finish the story, you do see that Loki was toying with him and pretending to be Thor basically. But we obviously didn't get to fight Loki, he ran away in the end. Maybe we'll see more of him in DLC, I'm not sure, but that would be really cool if we did get to see Loki, because I really enjoyed Loki in the MCU and in the comics as well. So yeah, heroes and villains throughout, good, just wish there was more villains overall. Next I'm going to be talking about the post-campaign stuff, which is called the Avengers Initiative, where there's all those war zones, drop zones, hives, all those extra post-launch missions basically. Overall the missions are fairly enjoyable, but they do become pretty repetitive to be honest, because it's the same old smash this objective, hack this server, blah blah blah. I just wish there was more variety in those missions. Now I do understand they all affect the story and what happened after the Reassemble campaign, but it does become incredibly repetitive if you just constantly doing hives and drop zones and war zones and they don't have a good variety of objectives. Maybe they should have just more things to do on those missions, as I feel like the gameplay wouldn't become as repetitive if that did happen. But overall the post-launch stuff is enjoyable, not as enjoyable as the campaign, but enjoyable to do still. It's one of those games where you can just come back to, and if you want to, you're in a Marvel mood, or you just want to play as your favourite hero, you can just hop in, do some missions. Depending on how long you want to play for, you can choose which particular mission to play as. And overall, it's I think the game's tried to set out to be a daily grinding thing, but it doesn't give you enough motivation to do the grinding itself, as the gameplay becomes repetitive and it feels like it's just easily can come back to and do those missions another time. But overall, the game, the missions, good, but definitely could be better. Now, obviously, post-launch, we are getting a lot of content because they have promised that we will be getting content for years to come. Now, we have already confirmed Kate Bishop is coming in October, and Hawkeye is coming in November, and Spider-Man is coming in early 2021. We also got confirmed in the latest War Table that Black Panther is coming, but they decided to hold off the reveal because of the passing of Chadwick Boseman. Now, obviously, I think the potential for post-launch heroes is unlimited because there's 81 years of Marvel history they can go through, and I'm excited to see where this could go, but they obviously need to include lots of different mission types, because if we just keep doing the same missions, then playing the heroes is going to become great. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be great playing as the new heroes, but if we're playing the same missions for the next few years, then it's going to be really rubbish. But I doubt they will do that, so I probably say that it's going to be a good post-launch experience for Marvel's Avengers, and potentially could be more successful than the launch itself. Now, I have seen on Twitter and lots of different social media sites that people are experiencing quite a lot of glitches, but personally for me, I have barely experienced any glitches. Some people are saying that their game's crashing. My game hasn't crashed once yet, which I feel grateful for, I guess, because that seems to be quite a problem and people are getting quite frustrated by it. And there's not really been any major glitches. The only glitches that have really bugged me are some audio issues when I'm in combat, and there was one particular bug that I noticed when I was in the second Thor heroic mission, and once I got to the final cutscene, I was in the middle of combat before that final cutscene, and everything just went into slow motion, which I saw was a glitch in the beta, as it happened to one of my friends. So hopefully Square and Crystal will be able to fix that in the near future. But with that all being said, I bet you're probably waiting for an overall score out of 10, So overall, I'm going to give this game an 8.5 out of 10. Obviously, that could have gone up if the missions would have been repetitive and all the other criticism that I've given in this video. And maybe this score may be bumped up in the future once more post-launch characters and story missions will be added. In comparison to other Marvel games, I'd probably give Iron Man VR, which I played in the summer, a 7.5, and I'd give Marvel Spider-Man, which came out in 2018, probably a 9.5 out of 10. So it kind of ranks in the middle there. Not as good as Marvel Spider-Man, but definitely better than Marvel's Iron Man VR. So there you go, that is my review for the Marvel's Avengers game. Please like and subscribe for more Marvel's Avengers content, as I have a bunch of videos planned to come out in the near future. So please do stay tuned for that. Thank you again for watching this video, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.